Why ESG is important to trustees? I think for me, the shift that we want to see in the sustainability investing space can largely be driven by institutional investors. In fact, the balance of power rests with institutional investors. They're the people with the money, they're the people with the assets, and so them determining where to put it in a manner that is not harmful to the environment, in a manner that is socially responsible, in a manner that encourages good corporate governance, then becomes very critical into gaining well risk-adjusted returns. In the coming years, and especially even starting now, based on what we have seen with COVID and also with the drought situations, especially here in Africa, we are in an environment that relies largely on sectors that can be hit by climatic changes, for example. We invest largely in agriculture, with fisheries. You know, the bulk of our GDP depends on these sectors that can be affected by those sectors, or catastrophes that can hit those sectors. So incorporating ESG considerations into where we invest then becomes very critical, so that we are aware of the physical risks, transitional risks, or liability risks that can materialize and jeopardize the return we have promised our members. So into the future, some of these eventualities and the greatest risks facing businesses today are actually ESG related. How a company is governed, it can go under, how it relates to the environment. If those catastrophic events materialize, then it would jeopardize how they operate. How you take care of your people, your communities, to also determine how productive you are as an institution. So I think going into the future, the shift is clear that this is a mainstream governance issue. It's also an issue that needs to be held at the highest decision-making organ in any institution as a standing agenda. That is the board. So the board should have oversight on how companies are run, and also cascade that down from the shop floor to the top floor, so that, again, the conversation is seamless. Into the future then, from a regulatory perspective, I think we need to see our local regulators taking this up and using what is happening at the global level through the global baseline that we now have from the International Sustainability Standards Board to cascade down regionally to give some level of direction and reduce the confusion from the many frameworks we have today, so that people know how to go about not only integrating but eventually disclosing on their ESG performance.